Maya Johnson's phone shattered against the ICU floor as nurses slammed through the double doors, a gurney between them carrying a small boy whose lips had turned blue. Alarms shrieked. Someone shouted about oxygen saturation dropping. The fluorescent lights above buzzed like angry hornets as doctors descended on the child with controlled chaos. "We're losing him," a nurse's voice cut through the noise. Maya's knees buckled. She caught herself on the wall, her designer blouse, now wrinkled and stained with her son's blood, twisted in her trembling fists. Through the glass partition, she watched them work on 7-year-old Park Han-jun, watched his small chest refuse to rise, watched the monitors scream their warnings. This couldn't be happening. Not like this. Not after everything she'd sacrificed to keep him safe. Dr. Kim Jae-woo burst through the chaos, her white coat flying behind her. "Ms. Johnson, we need the father. Now, we're out of time." "I know," Maya's voice broke. "I know." She snatched up her cracked phone from the floor. Her hands shook so badly she could barely swipe to her contacts. There it was. The number she'd deleted and rememorized 100 times over 7 years. The number she'd sworn she'd never call. Her finger hovered over the screen. Inside the ICU, Han-jun's monitor flatlined. Maya pressed call. It rang once, twice. She counted her heartbeats, each one felt like her last. "This is Park Jun-seo." That voice, ice over steel. It slammed into her chest like a physical blow, dragging her back through 7 years of carefully constructed distance, through boardrooms and broken promises, and the single worst decision of her life. Jun-seo, his name tasted like blood in her mouth. It's Maya. Silence stretched across the line. She could picture him in some glass tower overlooking Seoul, surrounded by the empire he'd chosen over her, his face that perfect mask of corporate indifference. "What do you want?" Each word was carved from permafrost. Behind her, doctors shocked Han-jun's small body. His back arched off the bed. "There's a boy dying," the words tumbled out. "Right now, in Seoul National University Hospital. He has OB-negative blood with the Bombay phenotype, the rarest combination in Korea, maybe one donor in this entire country. I don't have time for it." "He has your eyes," Maya screamed it, not caring who heard. "He has your eyes and your blood and your sharp little mind that solves calculus problems for fun, and if you don't get here in the next hour, he's going to die." The silence that followed was absolute. "Maya," his voice had changed. The ice cracked. Something raw and terrible bled through. "What are you saying to me right now?" She turned to watch through the glass as they got Han-jun's heart beating again. Weak, thready, a borrowed miracle. "I'm saying you have a son." Each word cost her everything. "I'm saying I've kept him safe from your world for 7 years, but I can't save him from this. I'm saying get on a helicopter and get here now, or the boy you didn't know existed is going to stop existing for real." She heard something crash on his end, glass breaking, his sharp intake of breath. "Where?" "Seoul National University Hospital, 5th floor ICU." "Don't," his voice splintered. "Don't let him die. Maya, whatever I did, whatever happened between us, don't you dare let my son die." The line went dead. Maya let the phone slip through her fingers. It clattered against the sterile tile as her legs finally gave out. She sank to the floor, her back against the cold wall, and let herself break. Just for a moment. Just until she had to be strong again. Dr. Kim appeared above her, pulling her to her feet with surprising gentleness. "The father is coming." "Yes." "How long?" Maya checked her watch with shaking hands. Knowing Jun-seo, he's probably already in the air. "Ms. Johnson," Dr. Kim's expression held something like pity. "You understand what you've just done, who that man is." "I know exactly who he is." Maya straightened her spine, wiped her eyes, became the woman who'd survived 7 years in Seoul's shadows. "I also know he's the only chance my son has." Through the glass, Han-jun lay still as death, machines breathing for him. His golden brown skin turned the color of old newspapers. He looked so small in that hospital bed, so fragile. Nothing like the bright, laughing boy who'd kissed her goodbye that morning before his school trip. The school trip where he'd collapsed. The diagnosis that had shattered her world. Acute lymphoblastic leukemia. The blood tests that had confirmed her worst nightmare. He needed his father. "How long does he have?" Maya asked quietly. Dr. Kim's silence was answer enough. Maya pressed her palm against the glass. "Hold on, baby. Just hold on a little longer. Your father is coming." The words felt impossible. After 7 years of making sure their paths never crossed, after building an entire life in the margins of Jun Seo's empire, after swearing Han Jun would never be caught in the crossfire of that world, everything was about to change. The elevator chimed. Too soon, it couldn't be him already. But the footsteps echoing down the hallway were expensive leather on linoleum, moving with the kind of purpose that parted crowds. Security guards tried to keep up, their protests ignored. Nurses stepped aside instinctively, recognizing power when it moved past them. Park Jun-seo filled the hallway like an incoming storm. He looked exactly the same, sharp features that could have been carved from marble, a suit that cost more than most people's monthly salary, hair perfectly styled despite the helicopter ride. Those eyes, God, those eyes that missed nothing and forgave less. But his tie was crooked, his collar unbuttoned, and his eyes were wild. They found her, locked on. 7 years collapsed into nothing. Where is he? Not a question, a demand. Maya couldn't speak, couldn't move. 7 years of practice speeches died in her throat. So she just pointed. Jun Seo turned to the glass partition, saw the small boy in the hospital bed, saw the machines, saw the delicate features that were an impossible blend of Maya's warmth and his own aristocratic severity, saw the dark curls against the pillow, saw himself, 7 years younger, fighting for every breath. The sound he made wasn't quite human. "His name is Park Han-jun," Maya whispered. "He's 7 years old. He speaks 3 languages. He loves mathematics and terrible jokes and those honey butter chips you can't buy anywhere except Korea. He's brilliant and kind and everything good that we could have been." Jun Seo's hand pressed against the glass. His shoulders shook. "Why didn't you tell me?" The words scraped out of him. "Why didn't you?" "Because you made your choice." Maya's control shattered. 7 years ago, you chose that empire over me, and I wasn't going to let you choose it over him too. You had no right. I had every right. I'm his mother. I'm the one who's been there for every nightmare and every triumph and every single moment of his life while you've been. What? Building your legacy, making deals, forgetting I ever existed. Dr. Kim stepped between them. "Mr. Park, we need to test you immediately, if you're compatible." "I am." Jun Seo's voice was absolute certainty. His eyes never left Han Jun. "Whatever he needs, take it all if you have to." "It doesn't work like." "Then tell me how it works and let's start." He finally looked at Dr. Kim, and the raw desperation in his face made even the doctor step back. "Please, just tell me how to save my son." Before we dive deeper into this impossible situation, if you're already hooked on Maya and Jun Seo's story, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment telling me what you think Jun Seo's going to do next. And smash that like button if you believe in second chances, because these two are going to need a miracle to survive what's coming. Dr. Kim led Jun Seo to a nearby room for testing. Maya stayed rooted to her spot by the glass, watching Han Jun's chest rise and fall with mechanical precision. In, out, each breath a gift from machines, a borrowed miracle that wouldn't last forever. 15 minutes later, Dr. Kim returned, Jun Seo behind her. He'd rolled up his sleeve, exposing a forearm corded with lean muscle. A small bandage marked where they'd drawn blood. "You're a perfect match," Dr. Kim announced. We can begin transfusion immediately. How long? Junseo asked. Several hours for the initial transfusion. He'll need multiple treatments over the coming weeks, possibly months, depending on how he responds. I'll be here for all of them. Maya's head snapped up. Junseo, you can't just. Watch me. His voice was quiet steel. I've missed 7 years of my son's life. I'm not missing another minute. They set him up in the chair beside Han-Jun's bed. The nurse worked efficiently, sliding the needle into his vein, connecting him to bags and tubes that would carry his blood into their son's failing body. Junseo reached across and took Han-Jun's small hand. His own dwarfed it, elegant fingers wrapping around delicate bones. I'm here, he whispered. Maya had never heard his voice so soft, so broken. I'm sorry I wasn't here before, I'm sorry I didn't know, but I'm here now and I'm not leaving. Do you hear me? You don't get to leave either. You fight, you stay for your mother, for me, for all the years we're going to have together. Maya's vision blurred. She pressed her fist against her mouth to keep the sob inside. As Junseo's blood began its journey into Han-Jun's body, he finally looked at Maya, really looked at her, took in the dark circles under her eyes, the weight she'd lost, the exhaustion carved into every line of her face. You've been doing this alone, he said quietly, raising him in soul. All this time you were here. Where else would I go? Maya's laugh was bitter. This is his country too, his heritage. I wasn't going to take that from him just because his father. Because his father what? Junseo's jaw tightened. Say it, Maya, because I'm a coward, because I let my mother bully me, because I chose wrong. You chose what you always choose, the company, the legacy, the empire. She met his eyes. I just wasn't going to let you choose it over our son. So you chose for me instead. You decided I didn't deserve to know he existed. I decided he didn't deserve to be a pawn in your family's games. Maya's voice rose. Do you have any idea what your mother would have done if she'd known? She would have taken him, molded him, turned him into another perfect Park Air with all the warmth sucked out until he was just another piece on her chessboard. You don't know that. Don't I? Maya stepped closer. I heard you, Junseo. That day, I came to tell you I was pregnant and I heard you talking to her. I heard you promise you'd handle me, that you'd make sure I didn't become a problem for the company, that the family legacy was more important than anything else. Junseo went very still. Maya, that's not. You don't understand the context. Then explain it to me. She crossed her arms. Explain how those words meant anything other than what they sounded like. Explain how I was supposed to believe you'd choose us over everything you'd been raised to protect. He opened his mouth, closed it. His free hand, the one not holding Han-Jun's, clenched into a fist. I can't, he admitted finally, because you're right. In that moment I would have chosen the company. I wasn't ready. I didn't understand what I was giving up. And now, he looked at their son, at the small boy fighting for every breath. Now I understand I gave up everything that mattered. The machines beeped their steady rhythm. Outside, Seoul's lights glittered against the darkness. A city of millions that had no idea the Park Empire's heir lay dying in this room. Tell me about him, Junseo said quietly. Please, tell me everything. So Maya did. She told him about the pregnancy, about those terrifying months alone in a tiny apartment in Mapogu, about going into labor at 3 in the morning with only a taxi driver to help her get to the hospital. She told him about Han-Jun's first word, Iyama, and his first steps, taken in a playground while other mothers watched with barely concealed curiosity at the black woman with a mixed-race child. She told him about Han-Jun's first day of kindergarten, how he'd cried for 10 minutes and then made 3 friends in the next 5. About his obsession with numbers, how he taught himself to count to 100 in 3 languages before he turned 4. About the teachers who couldn't decide if he was gifted or just strange, who never quite knew what to do with a boy who didn't fit their boxes. He asks about you sometimes, Maya admitted. About his father, I told him you were working far away, that you loved him but couldn't be here. I didn't want him to think you abandoned us, even if that's what it felt like. I would never have abandoned him. Junseo's voice was rough. If I'd known. Would you? Maya challenged. Really? 7 years ago, with your mother breathing down your neck and the board questioning every decision, would you have claimed us, stood up in front of all of Seoul and said, "This is my family"? The silence stretched between them like a chasm. I don't know, Junseo finally admitted. And that's the truth that's killing me right now. I don't know if I would have been brave enough. It was the most honest thing he'd ever said to her. But I'm here now, he continued. And I'm not going anywhere. Whatever comes next, whatever my mother does, whatever the board says, I'm done choosing wrong. Maya wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to believe him so badly it hurt. But before she could respond, the ICU doors slammed open. Park Soo-yeon swept in like a winter storm given human form. The chairwoman of Park Industries wore a black suit that probably cost more than Maya's annual salary. Her silver hair pulled back in a severe bun, her face a mask of controlled fury. Junseo, her voice could have frozen fire. What is the meaning of this? Junseo didn't stand, didn't let go of Han-jun's hand. Hello, mother. I received a very interesting call from your secretary, something about a medical emergency, a helicopter, and a child. Her eyes found Maya. Ms. Johnson, I should have known you'd resurface eventually. Cockroaches always do. Mrs. Park. Maya kept her voice level despite the rage burning in her chest. How lovely to see you again. Spare me the pleasantries. Soo-yeon's gaze moved to the hospital bed. To Han-jun. Something flickered across her face, surprise, maybe, or recognition, before the mask slammed back into place. This child, he's yours. Ours, Junseo's voice was absolute steel. His name is Park Han-jun. He's 7 years old, and he's my son. The words hung in the air like a detonation. Soo-yeon's eyes narrowed. Impossible. Look at him, mother. Really look at him. And she did. Maya watched the chairwoman's face as she took in Han-jun's features. The sharp chin that was pure Park genetics, the elegant fingers, the way his eyebrows arched just like Junseo's, just like his grandfather's before him. You fool, Soo-yeon breathed. You absolute fool. I didn't know. Junseo's grip on Han-jun's hand tightened. She didn't tell me. Because she knew better, Soo-yeon rounded on Maya. You knew exactly what this would mean, what a scandal like this could do to the company, so you hid him. Smart. Smarter than I gave you credit for. I hid him to protect him from you, Maya shot back. From being used as ammunition in your power games. From being turned into another emotionless Park robot who values stock prices over people. How dare you? How dare I what? Care more about my son's happiness than your empire. Choose his well-being over your legacy. Actually love him instead of seeing him as a chess piece. Soo-yeon's hand cracked across Maya's face. The slap echoed through the ICU like a gunshot. Junseo was on his feet instantly, the IV line ripping from his arm. Blood welled up, dripped onto the pristine floor. Touch her again, he said quietly, and I will burn Park Industries to the ground with you in it. Mother and son faced each other across the hospital bed. In the background, machines beeped. Nurses watched from the doorway, frozen in shock. You would destroy everything your father built. Soo-yeon's voice was dangerously soft. Everything 3 generations of Parks have sacrificed for her, for this illegitimate child. He's not illegitimate, he's mine, and yes, I would destroy it all. Junseo's voice didn't waver. I've spent my entire life being what you wanted, the perfect son, the obedient heir. I chose the company over my own happiness so many times I forgot what happiness felt like. But I'm done. I'm choosing them now. My son, his mother, my family. If you do this, you'll have nothing. I'll remove you as CEO, strike you from the will. You'll be just another nobody in Seoul. Then I'll be a nobody with a family who actually wants me around. Jun-seo smiled, and it was the saddest thing Maya had ever seen. Funny how that's worth more than all the money in your accounts. Soo-yeon's face went white, then red, then white again. For a moment, Maya thought the chairwoman might actually have a stroke. Then she laughed. It was a terrible sound, bitter and sharp as broken glass. You think you're the first park to fall for the wrong woman. Your grandfather did the same thing, threw away his inheritance for a girl his parents didn't approve of. Do you know what happened? They lasted 3 years before she left him, took half his money and disappeared. He came crawling back, broken and humiliated, and it took him a decade to rebuild what he destroyed. I'm not grandfather. No, you're softer, weaker. Soo-yeon's eyes were merciless. This woman will bleed you dry, Jun-seo. She'll take everything, your money, your name, your company, and when there's nothing left, she'll leave you just like the others always do. I don't want his money, Maya said quietly. I never did. Then what do you want? I want my son to live. Maya met Soo-yeon's gaze. I want him to grow up knowing his father. I want him to be happy and safe and loved. That's all. That's everything. How touching. Soo-yeon's voice dripped venom. And you expect me to believe you'll just disappear back into whatever hole you crawled out of after this? That you won't use this child to manipulate my son, to get your hooks into the park fortune? I expect you to be a grandmother, Maya said. Is that really so impossible? The words hit like a physical blow. Soo-yeon actually stumbled back a step. A grandmother, she repeated slowly, to a mixed-race child born out of wedlock to a woman who's not even Korean. Do you have any idea what the press would do with this? What the board would say? What this would do to our standing in Seoul society? I don't care. Jun-seo's voice was absolute. Not anymore. Then you're a fool. Maybe, but I'm a fool who's going to watch his son grow up. Can you say the same about your choices, mother? Can you honestly say you don't regret the things you sacrificed for this empire? For just a moment, something cracked in Soo-yeon's armor. Pain flickered across her face, raw and old and quickly buried. Get out, she said quietly, both of you, before I have security remove you. This is a hospital, you can't. I'm Park Soo-yeon. I can do anything I want in this city. She turned toward the door. You want to choose them? Fine, choose. But don't come running back when reality sets in. Don't expect me to clean up another mess when this all falls apart. It won't fall apart. We'll see. She paused in the doorway, looked back at Han-jun one more time. The boy looks like you did at that age, before the world got its hooks in, before you learned to be hard. Then she was gone, leaving only the echo of her heels and the smell of expensive perfume. Jun-seo sank back into his chair. A nurse rushed over to reconnect his IV to clean the blood from his arm. He let her work in silence, his eyes never leaving Han-jun's face. Well, he said finally, that went better than expected. Better? Maya's laugh was slightly hysterical. She threatened to disown you. Yes, but she didn't try to take him. That was my biggest fear, that she'd fight for custody, try to remove him from you entirely. Jun-seo reached for Maya's hand. She let him take it, let him pull her down into the chair beside him. She's angry, threatened, but she didn't see him as a pawn. She saw him as human. That's something. That's not enough. It's a start. They sat in silence, hands linked, watching their son breathe. Outside, night had fully fallen. Seoul's lights sparkled against the darkness, a city of millions that would wake tomorrow to find the Park Empire's perfect facade cracked wide open. What happens now? Maya whispered. Now, Jun-seo squeezed her hand. Now we wait, we hope, we pray if you're the praying type. And when he wakes up, because he will wake up, Maya, I refuse to believe otherwise, we figure out how to be a family. We don't know how to be a family. Then we'll learn. He brought her hand to his lips, kissed her knuckles. Together, the way we should have done 7 years ago. Jun-seo, she pulled her hand back. You can't just decide we're together again because of this. That's not how it works. I know. He looked at her, really looked at her, and the pain in his eyes was devastating. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know I can't just snap my fingers and erase 7 years. But I'm asking for a chance, Maya. Not to go back to what we were, but to build something new, something better, something real. What if I can't trust you again? Then I'll earn it back. Simple, absolute. However long it takes, whatever it costs, I'll prove to you and to our son that I'm worth the risk. Maya wanted to say yes, wanted to fall into his arms and pretend the last 7 years hadn't happened, that they were still those people who'd loved each other in secret, who'd built something beautiful in the shadows of his empire. But she was a mother now. She had more than herself to protect. Ask me again when Han-Jun wakes up, she said finally. When this crisis is over and we can think clearly. Ask me again when you've told the world about him, when you've faced the consequences, when you've proven those words weren't just fear talking. I can do that. He settled back into his chair, eyes on their son. I can wait. The transfusion took hours. They sat in silence, watching Jun Seo's blood flow into Han-Jun's body, watching the monitors for any sign of improvement. Nurses came and went. Dr. Kim checked vitals, adjusted medications, murmured encouraging words that felt like lies. Somewhere around 3 in the morning, Han-Jun's fingers twitched. Maya was on her feet instantly. Did you see that? His hand. I saw it. Jun Seo leaned forward. Han-Jun, can you hear us? Another twitch, then his eyelids fluttered. Get Dr. Kim, Maya shouted to the nurses. He's waking up. Jun Seo gripped Han-Jun's hand tighter. That's it. Come on, son, come back to us. Han-Jun's eyes opened slowly, struggling against the lights. They were dark brown, almost black, with flecks of gold around the iris. Jun Seo's eyes, exactly. Iyama, his voice was barely a whisper. I'm here, baby. Maya smoothed his hair back. I'm right here. Why does everything hurt? You were very sick, but you're going to be okay now. The doctors helped you. Han-Jun's gaze drifted to Jun Seo. Confusion flickered across his small face. Who? Jun Seo's throat worked. I don't know how to say this. This is your father, Maya said gently. Remember how I told you he was working far away? He came as soon as he heard you were sick. He helped save you. Han-Jun studied Jun Seo with those 2 intelligent eyes, the same eyes that stared back at him from the mirror each morning. You look like my face, he said finally. Jun Seo laughed and it sounded like crying. You look like mine too. Did you bring me here? In a helicopter, fastest way to get to you. A helicopter. For a moment, Han-Jun looked like any 7-year-old hearing about something amazing. Was it cool? It was terrifying. I kept thinking about you the whole time, hoping I'd get here in time. You did. Han-Jun's hand turned in Jun Seo's grip, holding on. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being alive. Jun Seo's voice broke completely. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for being brave. Iyama says I'm always brave. Your mother is right about a lot of things. Han-Jun looked between them. Despite his age, despite the drugs and exhaustion, his sharp little mind was already working. Are you going to stay, or do you have to go back to being far away? Jun Seo met Maya's eyes over their son's head. In that look was a question, a promise, a plea. I'm going to stay, he said firmly. If your mother will let me, I'm going to stay and get to know you and be your father for real, not just the person who was far away. Okay, Han-Jun's eyes were already drifting closed again. That sounds good. I always wanted to meet you. He fell back asleep before finishing the sentence. Dr. Kim entered, checked his vitals, smiled for the first time since this nightmare began. The transfusion is working. His numbers are improving. We'll need to monitor him closely, continue treatment, but this is very good. This is what we hoped for. Maya collapsed back into her chair, all the fear and adrenaline draining out at once. Junseo wrapped an arm around her shoulders and she was too tired to pull away. They sat like that, watching their son sleep as dawn began to break over Seoul. The next 3 days passed in a blur of medical procedures and cautious optimism. Han-Jun's numbers continued to improve. The leukemia was responding to treatment. He'd need months of therapy, maybe years of monitoring, but he was alive. He was fighting. He was winning. And through it all, Junseo stayed. He worked from the hospital room, laptop balanced on his knee, taking calls in the hallway. He learned Han-Jun's favorite foods and brought them from the best restaurants in Seoul. He read to him from textbooks about mathematics and astronomy, from comic books about superheroes, from whatever their son wanted in that moment. He became a father. Maya watched it happen with a mixture of wonder and terror. This was everything she'd wanted 7 years ago. Everything she'd dreamed of and given up on. And now here it was, handed to her in the worst possible circumstances, with the entire world about to come crashing down around them. Because the secret was out. Someone had leaked it to the press. Maybe a nurse. Maybe someone from Junseo's company. Maybe Park Soo-yeon herself trying to control the narrative. It didn't matter. By the end of the week, every news outlet in Korea was running the same story. Park Empire heir's secret son revealed. The photos were devastating. Junseo entering the hospital. Han-Jun being wheeled on a gurney. Maya's face, tear-stained and exhausted. They'd been reduced to a scandal, a spectacle for Seoul to dissect over morning coffee. Junseo's phone rang constantly. His secretary, his lawyers, board members demanding explanations. His mother, strangely silent after that first confrontation. On the 7th day, he made a decision. "I'm calling a press conference," he told Maya. They were in Han-Jun's room. Their son was napping, his color finally returning to normal, his smile coming easier. A small thing, but everything. "Junseo, you don't have to." "Yes, I do." He stood, paced to the window. Seoul stretched below them, morning light glinting off glass and steel. "They're writing the story without us, making us into something we're not. I won't let them control the narrative. I won't let them turn our son into tabloid fodder." "What are you going to say?" He turned back to her. "The truth, all of it, that I have a son, that I didn't know about him, that I'm taking responsibility now, that anyone who has a problem with my family can take it up with me directly. They'll destroy you." "Maybe," he smiled, and there was something fierce in it. "But they'll have to go through me to get to you and Han-Jun. And I promise you, Maya, I'm a lot harder to destroy than people think." The press conference was scheduled for the next morning. Junseo's PR team worked through the night preparing statements, damage control, crisis management protocols. But when Junseo walked out onto that stage, he threw away the script. He stood in front of 50 reporters, 100 cameras and all of Seoul's judgment, and he spoke from his heart. "My name is Park Junseo," he began. "I'm the CEO of Park Industries, and I'm the father of a 7-year-old boy named Park Han-Jun." The room erupted, questions shouted from all directions, cameras flashed like lightning. Junseo held up a hand for silence. 7 years ago, I made the worst mistake of my life. I let the woman I loved walk away because I was afraid of what people would think, because I valued my family's approval more than my own happiness, because I was a coward. His voice didn't waver. She left, and I didn't follow. And because of that, I missed the first 7 years of my son's life. He pulled out his phone, held up a photo. Han-Jun grinning at the camera, gap-toothed and beautiful. "This is my son. He's brilliant and kind and braver than I've ever been. He nearly died last week. Leukemia. The only reason he's alive is because I happen to have the right blood type. Because by sheer luck, I was able to give him the one thing I should have been giving him all along." Junseo's hands shook. He steadied them on the podium. "His mother is Maya Johnson. She's an American. She's black. She's the most incredible person I've ever met, and yes, those are the details some of you will focus on. The things that make this scandalous. The things that make it inappropriate. But here's what I need you to understand. I don't care. The room went silent. I don't care what you think about my family. I don't care if this costs me the company. I don't care if the stock price crashes or the board votes me out or Seoul society decides I'm no longer worthy of their approval. He looked directly into the cameras. I care about being the father my son deserves. The man his mother should have had from the beginning. Everything else is just noise. A reporter stood. Mr. Park, what does your mother think about this situation? Jun Seo's smile was sharp. You'll have to ask her yourself. Will you marry Ms. Johnson? If she'll have me. But that's between her and me, not between me and you. What about the company? The board has already called an emergency meeting. Then they can call it. They can vote me out if they want. I'll survive. My family will survive. Park Industries will survive or it won't. But I'm done sacrificing the people I love for an empire that will forget me the moment I'm gone. He stepped back from the podium, ignored the shouted questions, walked off that stage with his head high and his conscience clear. When he got back to the hospital, Maya was waiting in the hallway. She'd watched the conference on her phone. Her eyes were red. That was, she couldn't finish. Stupid, career suicide, possibly both. I was going to say brave. Jun Seo huffed a laugh. I'm terrified. The board is going to crucify me. My mother is probably planning my funeral as we speak, but I meant every word. I know you did. Maya stepped closer. That's what scares me, because now you've burned every bridge, and if this doesn't work out between us, it will. You can't know that. No, but I can choose it every day, every moment. He took her hands. I can choose you and Han Jun over everything else, and I can keep choosing that until you believe me. Maya searched his face, looking for doubt maybe, for regret, for the moment when reality would set in and he'd realize what he'd given up. She didn't find it. Ask me again, she whispered. What? You said you'd ask me again, when the crisis was over, when you'd proven yourself. She smiled through tears. Ask me. Jun Seo's breath caught. He went down on one knee right there in the hospital hallway, still holding her hands, his suit rumpled and his tie crooked and his face more open than she'd ever seen it. Maya Johnson, he said, will you give me a chance, not to go back to what we were, but to build something new? Will you let me be a father to our son and maybe someday earn my way back into your heart? Yes, she pulled him to his feet into her arms. Yes, God help me, yes. They held each other in that hallway as nurses walked past, and machines beeped their steady rhythms, and somewhere in Seoul, the Park Empire trembled on its foundations. But in that moment, none of it mattered. Because they had each other, they had Han Jun, they had a chance. Everything else was just noise. 3 months later, Han Jun's leukemia was in remission. The treatments had worked. The miracle had held. Jun Seo had been voted out as CEO. Park Soo-yeon had made sure of that, though she'd done it quietly, without the vindictive rage Maya had expected. Almost as if she understood, in some twisted way, that her son had made the right choice even if it was the wrong one for business. They'd moved into a house in Seongbuk-dong, not as grand as Jun Seo's former penthouse, but theirs. A place where Han Jun could run in the yard, where they could be a family without the weight of the Park legacy crushing them. Jun Seo started a consulting firm, smaller, quieter, his own. Maya went back to work, freelancing now, choosing her clients, her hours, her life. And every evening they came together, the three of them, a family. On a warm spring evening, cherry blossoms falling like snow, Jun Seo found Maya in the garden. Han Jun was inside, video calling with his grandmother. Soo-yeon had surprised everyone by demanding weekly calls with her grandson, though she was still too proud to admit she enjoyed them. I have something for you, Jun Seo said. He handed her a small box. Inside was a ring, not the massive diamond she might have expected from a park. Something simpler, a pearl set in silver, elegant and understated. It was my grandmother's, he explained. The one who left my grandfather, the scandalous one, he smiled. Turns out she didn't leave for the money. She left because she couldn't breathe in that world. But before she went, she gave this to my father, told him to give it to someone who understood that love was worth more than legacy. Junseo, Maya's throat tightened. I'm not asking you to marry me yet. We're not ready for that, but I wanted you to have this. To know that I'm serious, that I'm in this, that I'm choosing you and Han-Jun every single day. Maya slipped the ring on her finger. It fit perfectly. Every single day, she repeated. That's all I need. He kissed her as cherry blossoms drifted around them, as their son's laughter echoed from inside the house, as Seoul's lights began to glow against the gathering darkness. They'd lost so much, given up so much, sacrificed empires and certainties and the safety of knowing exactly who they were supposed to be. But they'd gained everything that mattered. Inside, Han-Jun hung up with his grandmother and ran to the window. He saw his parents in the garden, wrapped in each other's arms, surrounded by falling blossoms like a scene from a movie. They're so gross, he said to no one in particular. But he was smiling. Because this messy, complicated, hard-won happiness was exactly what love was supposed to look like. Not perfect, not easy, not the fairy tale Seoul society would have written for them, but real and theirs, and worth everything. Junseo pulled back, touched his forehead to Maya's. Thank you, he whispered, for not giving up on us, for giving me another chance, for Han-Jun. Thank you for coming when I called, for choosing us, for being brave enough to burn it all down. It wasn't bravery, it was survival. You and Han-Jun, you're the only things that make me feel alive. From inside the house, Han-Jun called out, Are you two going to stay out there all night? I'm hungry, and Grandma said to tell you she's sending food over because she doesn't trust either of you to feed me properly. They laughed, broke apart, headed back toward the house, toward their son, toward the life they were building one choice at a time. Maya paused at the door, looked back at the garden. The cherry blossoms were still falling, painting the world in pink and white, temporary and perfect and fleeting. Like this moment, like all moments. What are you thinking? Junseo asked. That we made it, she said simply. Against all odds, against everyone's expectations, we made it. We did, he took her hand, and we'll keep making it every single day. They went inside together, to their son, to their imperfect, impossible, absolutely right family. Because true power isn't inherited through blood or built through empires. It's chosen every morning, every moment, in every small act of love that says, you matter more than everything else. And in choosing each other, in choosing love over legacy, family over fortune, truth over tradition, they'd found something more valuable than all the wealth in Seoul. They'd found home. If this story touched your heart, if you believe in love that fights against impossible odds, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment telling me what you thought. Did Junseo earn his redemption? Did Maya make the right choice? And smash that like button if you believe second chances can lead to the most beautiful endings. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in love. Until next time.